Roadrunner Rundown on Bakersfield.com and the CSUB Roadrunners Digital Network. Live from downtown Bakersfield, California, here's the voice of the runners, Corey Costello.
That is me, and this is Roadrunner Rundown, the official program CSUB Roadrunner Athletics. I'm Corey Costello. Thanks so much for joining us once again on the program. We've got an exciting show for you today, as today is it's one of the shows that everybody is waiting for. Drum roll, please, because holding in my left hand is the list of 2015 Rowdies nominees, June 4th at the Fox Theater. We will be unveiling the nominees for the Rowdies today. Yes, these are set and etched in fine rag paper. We will be announcing the individual and a couple team nominees as well for the Rowdies coming up June 4th at the Fox Theater, as you can see just right over my shoulder there. And we're going to be nominating several folks and teams for awards today so they can walk away with these fine Rowdies trophies. The sharp yet elegant, sleekly designed Rowdy trophy. Lethal, and as we found out in year number 1, very versatile. Open cans with these things if you'd like. Defend your home from prowlers. So we're going to be giving these away on June 4th to several special student athletes and teams. We're going to be announcing the nominees on the program today. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up on the show. Also joining us on the program today, Kevin Juergens, General Sales Manager of Bill Wright Toyota Scion, will be joining us on the show. They're a huge sponsor of the 2015 CSUB Spring Barbecue, the 43rd Annual Spring Barbecue, which is coming up this Thursday at the Ed Cardo Center. We'll talk to him about that. Also coming up, expected to hear from CSUB sophomore pitcher Garrett Nimmo. He's going to join us on the program. And coming up as well in the final segment of the program, Gary Curneen, our women's soccer coach, will join us. We're going to talk with him a little bit about his spring season just wrapped up. Runners showing some improvement. We'll chat with him about that as we get ready for his 2015 fall season and talk a little camps with him as well. They got some camp stuff coming up. We'll be chatting with him on the program. So a lot to get to on the show today. So buckle up and here we go. Let's get to some highlights. The Roadrunners at the Western Athletic Conference softball tourney this past week, and CSUB opening up against UMKC. Runners in the first round. The runners up 5-0 in the second inning before KC starts a comeback. Cinda Ramos gets things going with a solo home run. Then a couple pitches later, it's Marlene Maples with another solo shot, and it's 5-2 game. Runners give up a total of 6 in the inning before getting out of that one. There's Kelsey Monroe, WAC pitcher of the year. UMKC threatening with more, but it's Julia Cavazos. Not today. What a play in right field. She saves the base hit. Looking at it again, runners get 3 in the 5th, lead 8-6. Bottom of the 6th, bases loaded. How about a hot shot to Carson Guzman? The snag and the unassisted double play with the tying run at second base. Yeah, nice play. She dives to the bag, gets out of the jam as that ends the threat. And for the most part, the game, Sydney Raber adding insurance with a home run. She had an amazing tournament for the runners. They win the first game 8-7 in a wild one as you see how quickly that ball got out of the yard. Friday's semifinals, runners against top seed New Mexico State. Aggies striking first in this one. Kelsey Dodd scoring. Haley Nakamura 1-0. Aggies, they score 2 in the first inning. Runners half of the inning. Adriana Cardoza to reach on this throwing error, and she gets to second base. The first of 4 errors in the game by New Mexico State. Then, make an error, we make you pay. Alex Simmons with the RBI single. More to come in the inning for, how about Carson Guzman right here? See ya, left field. Roadrunners now up 3-2 in this one. Kelsey Monroe, WAC pitcher of the year in the circle as well for the Roadrunners as Bakersfield showing a lot of defense. How about that? Boom. Well, nice grab by Simmons there to steal a base hit. More to come from the runners in the second. Sydney Raber with the single through the left side. Then it's another New Mexico State error coming up on the what seems like a simple play. We'll just flip this over to the covering second base, but no. Runners score there. It's 4-2 CSUB. Aggies threatening in the third. How about this one? 6-4-3, the double play as Bakersfield gets out of that jam. They build their lead to 8-2 in the third. Runner aboard Madison Bundy with the walk-off. Yes, it's a walk-off in the 6th because 8-run mercy rule after 5 innings. So CSUB advances to the finals. with the 10-2 victory over New Mexico State as Bakersfield punches their tickets for the finals. That means they had to get beat twice. Well, the Aggies beat Utah Valley, so they set up the rematch. Runners just needed to win once Saturday to seal the championship, but New Mexico State, too tough. CSUB up 4-2 in this one. Then Carson Dodd with a single to right makes it a one-run game. And then New Mexico State, a single up the middle by Nui Sivia scores 2, and the Aggies all of a sudden are up in this ball game 5-4. Their pitching would settle down too. Dallas McBride recording one of her 9 strikeouts as she was dominating for the Aggies. Top of the 7th, runners down 7-4. Runner at third, but they're not able to get that one as they hold on for the win. New Mexico State does. Now we go to the winner-take-all game Saturday, and it didn't start well for CSUB. Sydney Raber giving up a 2-run shot for the Aggies to start the game just like that. They're on top. Runners would fight through in this one. Second inning, Guzman the single, and it's going to score Nicole Curry with the RBI to break the seal for CSUB. Chance to tie for Madison Bundy. She came through all tournament. And how about she comes through one more time? Single through the left side. This will score, and we are tied at 2 apiece. Bundy, by the way, named all-tournament for her efforts, and why the heck not? Runners then taking the lead on this play. Adriana Cardoza at the plate. It's a sacrifice fly. She's going to score the go-ahead run at this point. But this was the case all game long. More long balls from the Aggies as they hit one of 7 home runs in the game. This one from Milena Padilla, a 2-run shot. Aggies score 3 in the frame after this solo home run. Runners half of the 4th for Bakersfield as Sydney Raber going to give up another shot here as it was 5-4 Aggies. They added 10 runs in the 6th. Another solo home run was part of that. So CSUB down 18-6, heading to their half of the 5th. They needed 2 runs to keep it close. Runners get one there as they scored in their half of the 5th as they're going to get another shot, another home run for New Mexico State, and this one needing 3 in the 6th to keep it going. How about Ashley Carter with a 2-run shot? So she makes it a tad closer at 18-8. And maybe the Runners still have some life left. Down by a lot, but not enough quite yet. So Carter, her last college at-bat, but then the tapper back to the pitcher. And that's going to do it. New Mexico State wins both games on Saturday. They win the WAC championship as well, 18-10 over CSUB. A good tournament, though, for the Roadrunners. They lose this one in the second game on Saturday. First game on Saturday, a little bit closer. They lost 7-4 to New Mexico State. They defeated New Mexico State previously in the earlier game on Friday to advance to the finals, but the Runners, unfortunately, unable to finish off an incredible run, but not bad for a team that was picked to finish dead last in the Western Athletic Conference. They show everybody as they win it. They head to the finals and lose to New Mexico State, but not too bad for the Runners. Chrissy Buck and company, great job by her student athletes and her coaching staff as well in that one. So the Roadrunners season comes to an end after a nice run. CSUB baseball, meanwhile, they are still at it. They're going to have the conference tournament next week. Important series last weekend in Arizona. Bakersfield get a complete game on Friday. They beat Grand Canyon 4-2. This was a first-place battle, but the Lopes able to come back, and they're going to win the second game on Saturday, 4-2. And then on Sunday, New Mexico State able to get to the Runners pitching once again. Grand Canyon able to get to the Runners pitching. They win 6-4. So what this all means is here are the conference standings. 17-6 is Grand Canyon. Seattle 16-8. CSUB 16-8-1. Half game back of Seattle. And remember, Grand Canyon ineligible for the conference tournament. They can still win the regular season, though, and they're poised to do that right now. Roadrunners in Seattle pretty close to each other for the second seed, but look at Sacramento State, just one game back of Bakersfield there in the standings. So it's a very important weekend for the Roadrunners as they go on the road to Chicago State. So take a look at the upcoming schedule for CSUB. They're going to host UC Santa Barbara tonight. This is a non-conference game at Hartfield, the final home game of the year for CSUB. UC Santa Barbara, by the way, number 12 in the country. Runners beat them last Tuesday in Santa Barbara when they were 6th ranked in the nation. So Bakersfield able to get one win over the Gauchos already. They have now slid to 12th in the country, but still should be a good matchup with the Runners tonight at Hartfield. That's at 6 o'clock. And then here's the schedule for CSUB. They're at Chicago State. It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series this weekend because of the conference tournament next week, so they build in the extra travel day. So Thursday at 6 Central, the Runners will play in Chicago. Friday at 3 and Sunday at noon, all Central Time. Runners' best case scenario, they want to sweep. Best case scenario, they sweep. Grand Canyon gets swept at Sacramento State, and boom, the Runners are conference champions. They can still play for that 1 or 2 seed as well, so they need to take at least 2 of 3 from Chicago State, but they got to be careful. I think winning all 3 probably the best bet right now, because Sacramento State right behind the Runners, and Seattle in the mix as well. You don't want to end up in the 3 seed, and you got to play. You don't get that extra bye day. You got to play on Wednesday instead of Thursday at the conference tournament. So those are important games for CSUB. Sort of a must win for the Roadrunners. So they'll go to Chicago State, who did steal a game from Seattle in extra innings the other day. So definitely a capable team, and we'll see how Bakersfield responds. But a big weekend, important weekend for CSUB at Chicago State. And again, the Western Athletic Conference tournament opens up next weekend next week, I should say, either Wednesday or Thursday for the Roadrunners at Hohokam Stadium in Mesa, Arizona. We'll have a special edition, by the way, of Roadrunner Rundown next week. We'll be live from the ballpark in Mesa, Arizona, either on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on at 10 a.m., depending on what time, what day the Roadrunners play, and we'll hopefully get in there on Wednesday morning for a practice. So it could be a special Wednesday morning edition live from Arizona of Roadrunner Rundown next week. So stay tuned for details on that, but looking forward to that next weekend in Mesa, Arizona, as the Runners open up the Western Athletic Conference tournament. The field is set. The last 3 teams underneath there, New Mexico State, Chicago State, Texas Pan American, are out of the tournament already. There's no way they can get in. But so the field, the participants are set, but the seedings are still up for grabs this weekend. So it'll be a very important weekend in Western Athletic Conference baseball. All right, we're going to step away and take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the 43rd annual CSUB Athletics Spring Barbecue. Kevin Juergens, the general sales manager for Bill Wright Toyota Sign, will join us in studio. His organization, Bill Wright Toyota Sign, a huge sponsor of a lot of special events, especially the Spring Barbecue. We'll talk to him about that and more when we get back. This is Roadrunner Rundown.
One thing about living in Kern County is all these great rivalries. But despite all these rivalries, there's still one thing we can all agree on. Kern Schools is the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our auto rates as low as 1.99 APR with no payments up to 90 days.
Kern Schools, the biggest little credit union in town.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield Californians Daily Deal featured on Bakersfield.com. A daily deal is offered each weekday on services from local restaurants, dry cleaners, health and beauty services, retail shops, and local activities for the entire family. The daily deal is 100% local. Find these amazing deals only at dailydeal.bakersfield.com.
The Bakersfield Californian is a great read on the iPad, but did you know that the Bakersfield Californian is available on your Kindle Fire? Or how about Google's Nexus 7, the Nook? You bet. You can also read a full replica of the newspaper on your Android-powered smartphone, on Apple's iPhone, or on your laptop. We have a solution for any device. E-Edition is free for subscribers, or just $7.99 a month. The Bakersfield Californian. We're everywhere and anytime. Subscribe today. Bakersfield.com.
Support CSUB Roadrunner Athletics at the 43rd Annual Spring Barbecue, Thursday, May 14th at the Accardo Center. Join us for dinner featuring Harris Ranch, New York Steak, and Teriyaki Chicken. And stay for live entertainment featuring Foster Campbell and Friends, along with special guest Truxton Mile. Tickets are $30 in advance and available at Mexicali. Bonds, all lengthwise locations. The 43rd Annual CSUB Athletics Spring Barbecue, Thursday, May 14th from 5:30 to 9 at the Accardo Center.
We pursue excellence in the classroom and strive to achieve our potential. We compete on the field with integrity,
on the court with respect,
and in the pool with distinction.
We are strong leaders in our community and gain values from our biggest fans.
We continue the legacy of commitment to our universities, to our coaches, to our teammates, and most importantly to you.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
In a fertile valley, a growing university with record enrollment and graduates serving the needs of a thriving community, a tradition of athletic excellence. Now a part of the Western Athletic Conference. CSU Bakersfield.
And welcome back here to Roadrunner Rundown. Still to come on the program, Garrett Nimmo will join us in studio. CSUB sophomore pitcher as the Runners get ready for that important series at Chicago State. Got a game tonight as well at home against UC Santa Barbara in non-conference action. We will chat with him coming up on the program. Also, we're going to be retiring Bill Curneen's jersey at the ball game tonight, so prior to the game. So you can join us for that just before first pitch at 6 o'clock in appreciation for everything he's done. So we'll be retiring Bill Curneen's jersey tonight at Hart Field just before first pitch at 6 p.m. Joining us now on the program, I want to welcome a huge sponsor of the upcoming CSUB Athletics 43rd Annual Spring Barbecue, and this Kevin Juergens, the General Sales Manager, Bill Wright Toyota Scion. Thanks so much for joining us. How you been?
Awesome, and thanks for having us here. We appreciate it.
Well, we definitely appreciate your support, and Bill Wright Toyota Scion has been a huge supporter of a lot of our special events, but the barbecue, the spring barbecue always seems to be one that you guys really enjoy. I mean, what is it about this event that keeps bringing Bill Wright Toyota Scion back?
Well, every year it's been such a big event for Cal State Bakersfield, a big fundraiser. It's so well attended. It's very well done. And we wanted to participate with the athletic department in Cal State, and to have a presence there because we think that the university does so much for the community, and we just want to be a part of that.
And I know you guys always have a pretty impressive display. You bring out a couple vehicles. Any idea what you might have on display on Thursday yet?
Yeah, this year what we're doing is we're showcasing some of our Scion product, which is more of the youth-oriented vehicles and XB and TC, and we have a lot of new products coming out with this with Scion this year. So where better to do that than involved with college athletics and with parents and alumni, and then of course the kids as well.
Is that obviously anytime you're involved in something, you always want some kind of return on the investment. I mean, is that a good place for you guys? Do you get a lot of people that maybe see it at the barbecue, they see the Scion first, and then maybe they come back later and say, hey, I saw this car at the barbecue. I think, I'd like to maybe drive one of them.
Yeah, and I think there's different types of advertising, if you will, and this is more of a community sponsorship for us, and image enhancement to a certain extent, in the fact that we get to showcase our vehicles, but at the same time, it's our presence and our commitment to Cal State. And so it's a combination of both. We're not there to sell anything. We're just there to say, hey, this is what we've got. Sure. And in the meantime, we want to make sure that we're a part of Cal State.
Can you remember off the top of your head how many years it's been? I can't. I'm just trying to think if you could.
I actually went to our trophy case today to try to determine how long it's been. And, I'm sure that we don't save every trophy that we've ever had, and I saw one for 2005, and I saw the 26th and the 23rd. Some years the date was on it, and some years it was whatever the 23rd, 22nd, whatever. Yeah. So I don't know how far it's gone back, but it's been for a long time.
Yeah. Well, if you had the 23rd, let's just say 20 years, because it's a 43rd, so we'll go with that.
Yeah, that's fair.
There you go. Sure. There you go. Kevin Juergens, General Sales Manager, Bill Wright Toyota Scion, joining us here on Roadrunner Rundown. You give us your thoughts. I know you've been around a lot of these events, and your thoughts on kind of the way the event has evolved and the changes that have been made over the years.
Well, it has continued to grow, and there have been a number of different events that we've been involved with. They had the casino night, and then it was the fall barbecue at one time, and it's now evolved, like you said, into the spring barbecue, which is the big one. And we've always been impressed with, and all credit to Kern County and the support of the university, of how many people actually come to this event, and the popularity of it, and obviously Cal State Bakersfield and their involvement in athletics and the different sports that they're participating in now. They have something for everybody. And so it's so well done and so well orchestrated, and we're just honored to be a part of it.
I was kind of thinking about this a little bit from just sort of the marketing side of me thinking, you see a lot of, car manufacturers and dealers that are associated with sports and athletics. Like, what's that kind of draw? What is the connection, between usually athletics and car manufacturers, things like that?
Yeah, well, isn't that the truth? No matter where, on television, whether it's a national event or even local events, it's because athletics are so well followed by the community. And there's an awful lot of people who have, obviously their favorite teams. Yeah. Jerseys are a big deal now, and all the memorabilia. So I think that honestly, it's because of the fact that there's so many people who are interested in it, and it's kind of escaped from real life a little bit.
Yeah,
they're able to enjoy their whatever sports that they're interested in, and be passionate about it, and in the process, because so many people are drawn there, I think that's why car manufacturers are advertising there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I know the Right Toyota sign's been around for quite a while. I've seen the commercials on TV. People that have bought several vehicles over the years. What's the best part about being involved in this community as far as your organization goes? What do you enjoy most about Bakersfield, Kern County?
I don't think I'm so amazed at the charitable people who live in Kern County. And whether it has to do with Relay for Life, for the St. Jude's Dream Home giveaway, which we have donated cars, as part of the giveaway for that, whether it's the support of the university, support of the hospitals. I think we have an amazing community and people who are truly dedicated to the lifestyle that Bakersfield offers.
Yeah.
And it's been a real blessing. I came from the Midwest originally, first 22 years of my life. And, the Midwest is known for friendly people and for concern for your neighbor and whatever. And I found that same thing in Bakersfield and in Kern County.
Do you probably, and I guess this is kind of a very diverse community, so I guess you probably don't, I guess in car sales, you probably see that because this is a place where you could probably sell plenty of Toyota trucks, but you can turn around and sell plenty of Scion cars. You guys probably have a huge diversity in that aspect of stuff as well.
We do, and that's a credit to Toyota to a certain extent because of the fact that they have something for everybody.
Sure.
And whether it's an entry-level vehicle or a commuter vehicle or a hybrid, obviously, which is a big deal, or whether we go to the Tacoma and Tundra or the SUV, we have something for everybody. So no matter what demographic that they're in and no matter what their need is, Toyota's focused on quality, dependability, reliability, and resale value, and also their miles per gallon, is so fantastic. So, it's a pleasure to represent that product because that years down the line, you're approached all the time and say, I've had that vehicle for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years. I've got 200,000 miles on it, and it makes you feel good that you've participated in their life and helped them along the way.
I worked with a guy one time in my dad's company. He had, I couldn't even tell you what year Toyota pickup it was, but it kept on running. The guy must have had like 250,000 miles on it. And it was his work truck, and it just kept on going.
Oh, I know. It's just, and those stories, that's the Toyota value story that comes up to us every single day, and we hear it. And people are really proud, that they've got 300,000 miles or whatever it is, and, all they've done is just service it. That was it. So it's great.
But Toyota, you guys are probably like, yeah, we love the fact that it's 250,000 miles, but you want to upgrade? Time to trade it in?
Well, they become kind of heirlooms. They get passed down.
Yeah, there you go.
So grandpa drove it, and then son drove it, and then grandson drove it. Yeah. So that's pretty neat. So somewhere or another we get in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Where what are some of the, I guess, you peel the curtain back a little bit, what are some of the maybe cool Toyota initiatives, Scion initiatives coming up in the next, year or so?
Yeah, there are so many different things that Toyota's coming up with. It's interesting. They have in their budget $1 million an hour for research and development.
Wow.
24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And a lot of those products and the fruits of those that investment are going to be coming out here in the 2016 models. Wow. We have a new redesigned Toyota Tacoma that's coming out in the fall, which is absolutely fantastic. Toyota now is going to be introducing the first mass-produced hydrogen fuel cell vehicle.
Wow.
Called the Mirai, and that's going to be a slow unveiling, simply so that there are the fueling stations to be able to accommodate that vehicle. But we have a new redesigned Prius, all new redesigned Prius, and that's been, of course, the hottest selling, biggest selling hybrid in the country. And so just all across the board, they're constantly improving. And they have a motto, it's called Kaizen. It's ongoing, continuous improvement. And so as soon as a vehicle is produced, they're looking for a better way. They're looking to make it better, and they continue to do so. The technology that's been incorporated into the new vehicles is just sometimes it's almost like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that's included in a car. And then the safety features and all the things that they're doing, the safest vehicles ever produced in the history of the world. So I'm really proud to work for Toyota, and certainly for Bill Wright Toyota.
Well, we're proud to have you guys on board as well as a sponsor of the 43rd Annual Spring Barbecue, and we'll see you on Thursday. Kevin, thanks so much for joining us.
It's been a pleasure, and thank you for having us.
All right, Kevin Juergens here on Roadrunner Rundown. Don't forget the 43rd Annual Spring Barbecue Thursday at the Icardo Center. Tickets available at lengthwise locations. Vons, Mexicali. You can get them on valley6.com as well. We'll be back with Garrett Nimmo. We're going to unveil some nominees for the 2015 Rowdies as well. This is Roadrunner Rundown.
One thing about living in Kern County is all these great rivalries. But despite all these rivalries, there's still one thing we can all agree on. Kern Schools is the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our auto rates as low as 1.99 APR with no payments up to 90 days.
Kern Schools, the biggest little credit union in town.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield Californians Daily Deal featured on Bakersfield.com. A daily deal is offered each weekday on services from local restaurants, dry cleaners, health and beauty services, retail shops, and local activities for the entire family. The daily deal is 100% local. Find these amazing deals only at dailydeal.bakersfield.com.
The Bakersfield Californian is a great read on the iPad, but did you know that the Bakersfield Californian is available on your Kindle Fire? Or how about Google's Nexus 7, the Nook? You bet. You can also read a full replica of the newspaper on your Android-powered smartphone, on Apple's iPhone, or on your laptop. We have a solution for any device. E-Edition is free for subscribers, or just $7.99 a month. The Bakersfield Californian. We're everywhere and anytime. Subscribe today. Bakersfield.com.
Support CSUB Roadrunner Athletics at the 43rd Annual Spring Barbecue, Thursday, May 14th at the Icardo Center. Join us for dinner featuring Harris Ranch, New York Steak, and Teriyaki Chicken. And stay for live entertainment featuring Foster Campbell and Friends, along with special guest Truxton Mile. Tickets are $30 in advance and available at Mexicali. Vons, all lengthwise locations. The 43rd Annual CSUB Athletics Spring Barbecue, Thursday, May 14th from 5:30 to 9 at the Icardo Center.
We pursue excellence in the classroom and strive to achieve our potential. We compete on the field with integrity,
on the court with respect,
and in the pool with distinction.
We are strong leaders in our community and gain values from our biggest fans.
We continue the legacy of commitment to our universities, to our coaches, to our teammates, and most importantly to you.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund creates educational opportunities for over 300 student athletes at CSUB. By becoming a member and donating to the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund, you're not only helping the Roadrunners fund the scholarship needs of our teams, you're investing in the future. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund isn't just developing student athletes, we're developing tomorrow's leaders. From lessons learned during competition. For more information, log on to gorunners.com/donate and become a member of the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund.
And welcome back to Roadrunner Rundown. My thanks to Kevin Juergens, General Sales Manager, Bill Wright Toyota Scion. And it was cool talking cars on Roadrunner Rundown. And of course, they're a huge sponsor of the 43rd Annual Spring Barbecue coming up on Thursday. You know what's coming up, though, on June the 4th? That's right. You can see it over my shoulder, the Rowdies at the Fox Theater. And it's the real Rowdies of CSUB Athletics, the reality-themed inspired student-athlete award show. And we are going to be unveiling some nominees right now. By the way, Garrett Nimmo's in the studio. He's a sophomore pitcher for CSUB. We're going to chat with him in a minute. But you get like the exclusive sneak peek, by the way. You're the first guy to see these things, all right? We're going to do a few of the awards now and a few of them next segment. But let's start with our Clutch Performer of the Year. We've got the slides on the screen. Our nominees are Anthony Perez, who had a huge performance in the WAC semifinals and a shootout victory over Seattle. There was Molly O'Hagan, who had 20 kills against New Mexico State in the semifinals of the WAC tournament. Bakersfield went on to win that tournament. David Metzger, just a couple weeks ago, he's had a couple clutch hits, but one against Cal Poly. Runners got their first victory over Cal Poly in over 2 years with a walk-off single with 5 infielders, by the way. And Jalen Arrington had a couple clutch performances. Seems like every time the Runners won this year, Arrington had a good game. He had the buzzer beater over UMKC back in February. On to our Weight Room Warrior Award. This one is presented by our strength and conditioning coach, Brendan Ziegler. And here are our nominees. As you see on the left-hand side of the screen, upper left, that is Kelsey Monroe, CSUB softball. She was just named WAC Pitcher of the Year. Brian Wilmert, who this week is trying to defend his hammer throw championship. We just posted a video of him last week, by the way, power cleaning 407 pounds. Yeah, that guy is a beast. Also, bottom left, Natalie Saucedo from CSUB softball as well. And Trisha Cervantes, a hurdler for CSUB women's track and field on that list as well. So that is our Weight Room Warrior Award. Time for our Blue and Gold Award. Kind of a evolving award over the last couple years, and people that just truly represent what it means to be a Roadrunner. 3 nominees this year. You can see on the right-hand side of the screen, James Garces of CSUB men's soccer getting a nod there. Garces, a defender, but really one of the team leaders and captains of the Roadrunners. Kelsey Monroe, once again, CSUB softball in the upper left-hand corner, had a tremendous year, WAC Pitcher of the Year. And Alyssa Shannon, CSUB women's basketball, second leading scorer on the team, led the team in assists, smallest player in the Western Athletic Conference, by the way, as well. Our newcomer of the year. This is our either freshman or transfer student athlete that makes the most difference on their team. We have 5 in this category, as a matter of fact. I might have left one off. Julian Zamora, CSUB men's soccer in the upper left-hand corner. Matt Williams, who was a finalist. By the way, Zamora was WAC Freshman of the Year. Matt Williams, a redshirt freshman, 197 pounds for CSUB wrestling. He was a Pac-12 finalist and a runner-up at 197. Kevin Mays in men's basketball led the Western Athletic Conference in rebounding in 2014-15. Maya Green of CSUB women's soccer, who was named second team all-conference for her efforts. And I forgot to put it on the slide here, but Julia Stewart, women's golf, she led the team in scoring average as a freshman. So Julia Stewart on that list of nominees as well. Most improved athlete here in 2014-15, Danica Youngblood, CSUB volleyball, had a tremendous year, a huge player after kind of just being a role player last year. Couple CSUB pitchers, couple of Garrett Nimmo's counterparts. Hayden Carter of a CSUB baseball, pictured in the bottom left, the Friday night starter for the Roadrunners. James Berrigan, the Saturday night guy as well for the Runners. Both of those pitchers having tremendous years. And Carnell Grimes, who we spoke to a couple weeks ago on the program, in the javelin with a heck of an improvement over the last couple seasons as well. On to our, best team turnaround award. As actually, this is the best team turnaround award. There we go. On the nominee list, we've got CSUB softball, upper right corner. They had a heck of a turnaround, WAC finalist in 2014. CSUB baseball, we put them on the list because I think we're going to do very big things in the conference tournament. So they are a nominee for best team turnaround. CSUB men's golf, pictured bottom left. They had a heck of a turnaround, a big improvement in the conference. Same with women's golf, pictured in the bottom right. They too shaved off over 100 strokes in their tournament between this year and last year. So definitely a performance worth worth a nomination for. On to Best Academic Performance, this is kind of our sort of academic student-athlete award, our all-academic award, those that contribute to the team but also do well in the classroom. We got in the upper left-hand corner, Angel Valdez of CSUB Cross Country, one of the top finishers all season long. She is about a 3.8 in mathematics is her GPA as a freshman. And then Alyssa Page, we talked to her last week. Alyssa, GPA right around that as well. And accounting, she's working in an accounting firm as well. And Alyssa Page of CSUB Track. Then you got Nicolette Gonsalves as well of CSUB Women's Swimming, and Brent Rapp of CSUB men's basketball in the bottom right corner, as well as he had a solid year, both contributing and academically as well for the Roadrunners. On to our last couple here for this segment. We'll start with our best individual contest on the female side. This is one game where you really made a difference, and those on this list will be Kelsey Lang, CSUB women's swimming. Kelsey Monroe, who had Lang, by the way, winning 3 WAC championships in one game. Kelsey Monroe, the no-hitter she threw against Cal Poly earlier this season. Also Molly O'Hagan for that earlier performance, 20 kills against New Mexico State. 29 points for Tana Outland against Seattle this year. And one that just came in because it was a late addition to the list was Madison Bundy for her amazing Western Athletic Conference tournament run. So Maddie is on the list. She's not on the slide, but she is there. What a great run she had as a all-conference selection for CSUB. So Madison Bundy in that category. And our final one for this segment, the best individual athletic contest for a male. 3 nominees there. Julian Zamora scored 3 goals against San Jose State on national television in front of a record crowd at the main soccer field. Ali Ahmed having a double-double against Cal in Bakersfield's first ever win over a Pac-12 team. And James Berrigan setting the CSUB single game record, 13 strikeouts against North Dakota. He backed it up 2 weeks later with a one-hitter against Sacramento State. So those are our first batch of Rowdies nominees. We got a few more we'll get to in the next segment of the program. But I want to be welcome now to the program, Garrett Nimmo. He's a sophomore pitcher for CSUB. And you're like, if you would have turned around a little bit earlier in the season, you might have been on the most improved. But man, you've really come on late.
Yeah.
How I mean, first of all, what's been the kind of difference for you in the last couple weeks?
Honestly, I have no idea. I've just been getting the opportunities, and it's just been going for me.
Yeah, you were WAC Pitcher of the Week last week. You had 2 victories and a save. You came in some jam-packed situations. I mean, bases loaded stuff, especially games against Northern Colorado where you had to get outs. What was it like getting into those games in those situations?
I mean, I think the majority of the times I've been coming into the games have been in those situations, so I've kind of been feeding off of it, and I like doing it, and so it's fun stuff. And
it kind of started with the Cal Poly game. You came in and really it was amazing to see. I think you had 9 strikeouts in the game, career high. What was it about that night? I mean, you're facing a very good team that was in the regionals last year, and you're mowing them down. What kind of changed that night?
Honestly, I came out a little flat. I think I was just really relaxed, and I was just doing it. My ball was sinking a lot that day, and I was just missing barrels.
That's a very important part of it. How has your pitch development come? Because I know Coach Curneen is big on coming up with a secondary and a third pitch and really, working on those. And so in the last year and change, what have you worked on? What pitches for you have really come around and gone to the next level?
I think I've got more command of my fastball, and it's been moving a lot more, and my changeup as well. And I've been working on a slider too, so pretty much all 3 of my pitches have changed a little bit.
And is that slider the one, because especially against Cal Poly, I mean, you threw it, and I didn't see a single right-hander not swing at it, but none of them could hit it. But it must have looked good leaving your hand because they all thought I have a shot at this pitch, and they all missed it.
It was actually the majority of those were sinkers that were down and in.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it was amazing to see, and I keep thinking to myself, why there's these right-handers are seeing this pitch going, oh, this looks good. But then when you see him swing the bat, by the time it comes around, you're thinking, they had no shot of hitting that pitch.
Yeah,
but they thought they did. I guess that's part of the whole process of pitching, right?
Yeah.
You want them to think they can hit it and then pitch it so they can't.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. So what's been, you came in as a freshman last year and sort of worked a little bit with some of these guys. You've seen the improvement. I like using the story of Hayden Carter and James Berrigan as an example. They came in as freshmen like you did, and got some spot starts and, had some rough outings here and there, but kind of weathered through it and got better, and look where they're at right now. I mean, have you sort of learned from them over the last year and change?
Yeah, I could say so. Just how they battle and stuff, and just keep learning as you go on.
What's it been like working with Coach Curneen? I mean, he's a fantastic pitching coach. How much has he helped you in your game?
I'd say like quite a bit. I mean, all with the mental side of the game and stuff, and just staying mentally strong. I think that's been part of like last year when I struggled a lot. It was just I just wasn't there mentally, and this year I think it's been a lot of the mental side for me.
You know what the crazy part is Coach Curneen has this. It's this weird kind of unwavering faith in his guys. I mean, and he said this about you from the very beginning. Oh, Nimmo's going to be really good. Watch. I mean, and sometimes you like you said, you went out and struggled a little bit, and you're going, what's Coach Curneen? What does Coach Curneen see in this kid? You got to see something, and then it comes out in the last couple of weeks, especially, and you're like, yeah, Coach Curneen's a genius. I mean, is that what is it about his disorder? And that must help you as a pitcher, knowing your coach has faith in you.
And he always says he's never wrong, and so far it has ended up that way every time.
Yeah, I mean, he did the same thing with Hayden Carter and Berrigan, and he said for the last couple of years, especially with James has the best stuff on the staff, and sometimes you see it and sometimes you don't, but he's always said he's got the best stuff on the staff, and here we are and looking at it, and you look at him now and you're going, yeah, he's got really, really good stuff. He's not lying. So I guess you're right. Coach Curneen is never wrong, essentially. Garrett Nimmo, our guest here on Roadrunner Rundown. All right, big series this weekend. You got a game tonight against Santa Barbara, midweek game. You beat them last week. It was great. Hopefully you can do it again. But really the focus this weekend at Chicago State. Yeah. Your guys' really motto is simple. You guys have got to win all three, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a sweep is going to be really big for us this weekend.
What, I mean, and obviously you're going on the road. You're playing in Chicago, playing at their ballpark for the first time. So, has the team talked about this at all yet, kind of the mindset, or is it just trying to play ball, or you just know the conference tournament's lurking out there and you want those 1 or 2 seeds?
I mean, yeah, obviously the goal is to get that 1 or 2 seed, and we have talked about it a little bit, but we just know we just need to go in there and do our thing and get the job done.
Well, last weekend, unfortunately, losing 2 or 3 at Grand Canyon, and I'm blaming the fact that Garrett was sick. And he won't blame it, but I'm gonna. He was sick, and he pitched through it on Friday, and unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. So I'm going. You can go ahead and say it didn't affect, and he did say it didn't affect me, but I'm gonna say it did. So that's the only way to cool him down. The guy was red hot.
You can't give me excuses.
Again, another Coach Curneen thing right here is like, no, I'm not taking excuses. No, I didn't have it that night. Well, no, that's great, man. I really am impressed with what you've been doing here lately. It's been fun to watch. Been just to see, especially, like I said, hitters think like I'm gonna hit this pitch, and they're not going to. So it's been fun to watch. Keep it up. Big series this weekend. Hope you get in and help us out. And then next week at the conference tournament. Can't wait to see you guys in Arizona.
Thank you.
All right, Gary Nimmo here on Roadrunner Rundown. Runners tonight at home against UC Santa Barbara, at Chicago State, and then next week at Mesa, Arizona. We'll have a live Roadrunner Rundown next week, Tuesday or Wednesday. We're thinking Wednesday though. The runners will be in the top 2 seeds. Special edition of the program live from the ballpark. We'll be back when we return. Gary Curneen will join us. A few more Rowdies nominees, and we'll be back with Coach Curneen talking about the recap of his spring season and much, much more. This is Roadrunner Rundown.
One thing about living in Kern County is all the great schools. And no matter what school you go to, there's still one thing.
One thing! One thing!
We can all agree on. Kern Schools is the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our auto rates as low as 1.99 APR with no payments up to 90 days.
Kern Schools, the biggest little credit union in town.
Introducing the Next Gen Home by Lennar. Your family is constantly evolving. The kids move out, the kids move back. Maybe grandma moves in. You need a home that will grow with you and your family. The Next Gen Home by Lennar has a separate private living space with a bathroom, kitchenette, and entrance all its own, but still connected to the rest of the house. It's a home within a home. New models now open in the Central Valley. To learn more, visit a Lennar Welcome Home Center near you or visit lennar.com.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield Californians Daily Deal featured on Bakersfield.com. A daily deal is offered each weekday on services from local restaurants, dry cleaners, health and beauty services, retail shops, and local activities for the entire family. The daily deal is 100% local. Find these amazing deals only at dailydeal.bakersfield.com.
Support CSUB Roadrunner Athletics at the 43rd Annual Spring Barbecue, Thursday, May 14th at the Accardo Center. Join us for dinner featuring Harris Ranch, New York Steak, and Teriyaki Chicken. And stay for live entertainment featuring Foster Campbell and Friends, along with special guest Truxton Mile. Tickets are $30 in advance and available at Mexicali. Bonds, all lengthwise locations. The 43rd Annual CSUB Athletics Spring Barbecue, Thursday, May 14th from 5:30 to 9 at the Accardo Center.
We pursue excellence in the classroom and strive to achieve our potential. We compete on the field with integrity,
on the court with respect,
and in the pool with distinction.
We are strong leaders in our community and gain values from our biggest fans.
We continue the legacy of commitment to our universities, to our coaches, to our teammates, and most importantly to you.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
In a fertile valley, a growing university with record enrollment and graduates serving the needs of a thriving community, a tradition of athletic excellence. Now a part of the Western Athletic Conference. CSU Bakersfield.
And welcome back here to Roadrunner Rundown. My thanks to Garrett Nimmo for joining us on the program, and CSUB women's soccer head coach Gary Curneen joining us in studio, as we've got a few more Rowdies nominees to get to, and we'll chat with Coach Curneen. So we left off at best individual contest for a male. Let's get to the Flockman Awards, which is our best athlete nominees. And here are our finalists: Mariah Alvidrez, top right, CSUB volleyball, both indoor and sand volleyball. Also, we have Madison Bundy, CSUB softball. A great season for her, as she was named all-conference tournament after her efforts last weekend, but a solid all-around season. Also in the pool, Delise Batista there in the bottom left corner, CSUB women's swimming, part of a relay championship, and Kristen Jensen of CSUB water polo as well, a nominee for the Flockman Award, named after the late Dr. Michael Flockman and his wife Kim Flockman. Dr. Kim Flockman still involved at CSUB. So those are our nominees for the female side of the Flockman Award. Now the male Flockman Award. These nominees this year include Ali Ahmed, CSUB men's basketball; Mitchell Huxhold, a repeating WAC champion in a couple events in the pool, an NCAA qualifier as well; Brian Wilmert, the defending Western Athletic Conference hammer throw champion; and all-around Max Carter, who pretty much plays every position in CSUB baseball, including pitcher, for the Athlete of the Year nominees. On to the President's Award. This is selected by Dr. Horace Mitchell. Here are the finalists, as Tana Outland, upper left corner, what a career she had, all-time leading scorer for CSUB women's basketball; Mitchell Huxhold, two-time NCAA Nationals qualifier and about six-time WAC champion during his career; James Berrigan, bottom left for CSUB, the Saturday night starter for the Runners, 4-year student athlete; and Molly O'Hagan as well, 4-year student athlete for the Roadrunners, as the President's Award nominees. And our Team of the Year Award, these go to the teams that, just had solid campaigns in 2014-15. And again, we're really hoping baseball's got a shot at doing some stuff. Kind of tough in the spring sports to get them nominated for these awards. We're hoping in their case. So baseball on the list, along with women's basketball, who had another appearance in the WNIT; CSUB volleyball, who won the Western Athletic Conference tournament and went to the NCAA tournament; and CSUB men's soccer, who was a finalist in the Western Athletic Conference and coming just a shootout away from the NCAA tournament. We have a few other awards on the academic side. Just want to mention real quick the Community Service Award first, the Rudy Carvajal Community Service Award, and the finalists in that one, as I struggle to find it here, was CSUB men's and women's swimming, softball, and water polo, the three finalists there, and also our Kegley McCall Award for our team GPA. And those are softball, women's soccer coach, and volleyball. So there you go on the finalists of those awards. And of course, our video of the year, which will go to the team that creates the best video, which, by the way, women's soccer off to a strong start. Right. Keeping up with the Kardashians. Your team was very, very creative, Coach. I like what I see so far.
That's good. I'll wait to see it. No comment.
Absolutely. Gary Curneen joining us here on Roadrunner Rundown. Your spring season is complete. Your exhibition matches are over. A 1-1-1 record. Obviously, you're excited about that as you move forward to the summer and then the fall.
Yeah. We feel like we've made a lot of progress. We feel like we got the foundation laid, which we needed to do. I think up until when we first got there, our first 6 months was, I think, what the culture we were fighting was a lot of generalizations, a lot of let's just go work hard, let's try our best, and there was no real standards. Yeah. So in setting standards, we've finally been able to set standards in academics, set standards in the physical, in the gym, set standards in the way we train, the community service, the hours needed. So there's actually a standard for everything now that allows us now to manage it and control it and improve it. And then it's really helped our culture. So the games have been good. Riverside beat us in the fall quite comfortably. That was a physical test for us, and we competed well against them. Stanislas was more of a test of dealing with speed over the top, and we did okay. We probably struggled the most in that, and then San Bernardino was a test of what are we going to do when we've got the ball most of the time. Yeah, and we did that really, really well. So there was 3 different games, 3 different tests with a smaller squad. We were happy to get out of it with that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, the spring is tough for you guys because you have a recruiting class of about 75 coming in. So you don't have your entire roster for the fall here yet. You've got, like you said, kind of some foundation players. So what were you kind of looking for with them, like you said, with a limited roster in the spring?
Yeah, it was all about working better and, like I said, establishing a standard in everything. So now, I felt our training and I felt our culture was sporadic in the fall. It was maybe one day a week we would really hit what we needed to hit on the practice field. With a smaller group, maybe it's because there's less hiding places. Maybe it's because they get more attention, or maybe it's just a little bit of experience. We've got 9 freshmen in that group, and they've done really, really well. And in that there, Clifton and Katie have done a great job on the field with them as well. So we feel as if we've made a lot of progress, and we feel as if listen, you never get too carried away. It's the spring season, but at the same time, without a culture, like any college coach will tell you, you're just any success you have is going to be short-lived. If you want it to be sustainable, you need to get that culture right, and we feel now that culture is getting there, and now there's a foundation that, like I said, it's a foundation, so it needs to be improved. So it doesn't guarantee a success, but it puts us on the right road. And
as we mentioned, a big recruiting class coming in the fall, and then you get the honor of hosting the WAC tournament next year as well. So
nothing like a bit of pressure. Yeah.
What I mean, obviously your goal, first and foremost, is to get in the WAC tournament and qualify to be there, and then of course you'll be at home as well. And we saw what that did for the volleyball team last year, going in as the 3 seed and winning it at home. So I mean, is that kind of in the back of your mind, like let's just handle our business in the conference next year and get into the tournament and see what the heck's going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, where we need to be, I think it's a phenomenal, prize at the end of the road. But for us, we've got to be able to get a few things in place before that. Which, like I said, we felt last year in going out of the conference tournament against New Mexico up in Seattle. It wasn't a surprise because we felt as if had we got to a conference tournament final, like men's soccer did or volleyball did, I feel personally that we would have been lucky to do that. Right. So we've got to get these things in place, and we feel like we've got a good opportunity, and we feel now that with the girls a little bit more comfortable in what we're looking for them, we've got a good chance to get there. So I think the challenge for us has always been travel in our conference, and that eliminates that there. So we're really excited about it, but unless we hit what we need to hit before that. We're just going to be hosts.
Sure. Yeah. And you guys you're the first sport to really get rolling. I mean, you start practicing early August. So what between now and then, what are you doing? Your coaches, your student athletes, you get ready for that?
Yeah, the girls are back in the gym. I mean, Zach's done a phenomenal job. Zach Perkins has done a brilliant job with the girls. He's been working with them really, I suppose, intensively for the past 6 months. And we've seen our girls were in there this morning. Now, when you've got a group of players that are wanting to get in the gym and work, that says a lot about, one, the culture, and two, the guy who's running it. So he's been brilliant. Yeah. So they're in with him 3-4 days a week. They're doing some positional work with the coaches 2 days a week. The academics, we want that. We want that academic award on the Rowdies.
Yeah.
And we also want to be the top sport at the end of the year. So like Melissa has done a phenomenal job with that there. So we need to finish whereas last year when we were done with the games, we were done for the season. Now we're like, right, let's set ourselves up for success. And then, this is a group of players who, if you're going to add 15 to 16 players on top, if they come in and there's a culture already in place, it makes it easier. So and the relationships are important. Bringing in 16 players who are it's gonna change the dynamics of this group. There's players, there's upperclassmen who are going to be sitting on the bench watching games. So unless the relationships are set and people can connect with each other before they come in, it doesn't matter how good we are. If there's cliques and if there's factions in the groups, then we're going to struggle. So we've got to make sure that there's taken care of too.
All right, Coach. Well, congrats on a good spring season. We got to get out of here, but we'll be updating you in the fall for sure. You're the first one's going, so we'll talk to you then.
Brilliant. Thanks, Corey. Appreciate it.
All right. We'll be back next week, folks, live from Hohokam Stadium in Mesa, Arizona, either Tuesday or Wednesday. Depends when we play. We'll let you know. Thanks so much for joining us. This has been Roadrunner Rundown.